We have to take care of our barrier of our scalp, just like we have to take care of the barrier of our facial skin, especially as we get older. If you have not started taking care of your skin barrier as you're aging, do so now. It'll be a game changer. I am not a big fan of using retinoids, hardcore ones like the Trentino and the prescription, because you actually start to disrupt your barrier potentially. And my skin won't tolerate it. So I'm not a fan of putting that on the scalp either. I know a lot of people are using that now with the minoxidil because it activates the minoxidil into the active form. And then they're microneedling it all in. I'm like, oh gosh, that just sounds like a recipe for an allergic reaction. Menopause is kicking in and our estrogen is declining. And hopefully we're supplementing it if you're into that. If you're not, then this is what's going to happen to your hair shaft. But estrogen modulates your immune system and it modulates your inflammation levels. And so your propensity for autoimmune disease, your propensity for inflammation, your propensity for just immune disruption increases as your estrogen declines. And the same is true for your scalp. And it's shocking how much of an impact that this sort of fibrosing, this inflammatory fibrosing that's happening potentially on our scalps as we age. And it's causing miniaturization of the follicle or hair loss, and then permanent sometimes. Sometimes this fibrosing can be very severe, but I would say more often it's probably just kind of low key. And that inflammation, how did I know I had inflammation on my scalp? Well, it itched all the time, like I said. So I knew my immune system was activated at my scalp. The mast cells were sitting there ready to go and release histamine. I also knew it was inflamed because of the ponytail thing. Every single time I put my hair up for too long and I take it out, especially if I've gone several days without washing, my scalp hurts so much. And it was bad as a kid. It's so much worse now. Like, it's to the point where I took a ponytail out the other day and I was almost in tears. And my husband's like, what is wrong with you? Like, how does that hurt? And I was like, oh my God. Like, I had to slowly bring my hair down out of the ponytail because my scalp was so lit up from it. So that's a thing. The reason I used to wear my hair short as a kid is because my scalp was so sensitive that I couldn't stand having my hair brushed. And so I kind of always just had ratty hair. And my mom and dad were like, if you can't take care of it and you won't let us brush it, then we're going to cut it off. So it was always short until I was old enough to take care of it. But anyway, some other things we have to consider. DHT. DHT is a derivative of testosterone, and it likes to live in the sebum of your scalp. And so if you let that sebum build up too much and you let that DHT build up because you don't want to wash your hair for several days, or maybe you're not high in DHT, but your follicles are very sensitive to it. I think that's the case for me because I run my Dutch test. My DHT is really low, but my follicles must be very sensitive to it because if I take the littlest bit of DHEA or I take the littlest bit of testosterone, my hair starts falling out. So clearly my scalp follicles are sensitive to whatever level of DHT I have there. But this is why we wash our hair regularly now. I wash my hair every other day. Every third day at the latest. Now, I live in Arizona. I'm active almost every single day. I like to sweat. I don't want an itchy scalp. If I go 4 or 5 days, my scalp starts itching. I know some of you are into the no poo thing where you like don't use any shampoo and you haven't used it for 5 years. I think that is great if you're younger. I think you're going to regret it when you get older. I think you're going to probably start washing your hair when you get older because of this DHT factor. I know that there's folks who want to wash their hair once a week because the natural oils that come down really make their hair look nice. But if you're losing your hair or you're thinning in middle age, you have to consider DHT. I would gander to say that DHT is a player no matter what type of hair loss you're dealing with. The other thing we have to consider is the fact that if you're losing hair today, it's coming from, if it's not androgenic alopecia or androgenetic alopecia, those two are kind of interchanged, those terms. That's female pattern hair loss, that's male pattern hair loss. That is really driven by A, your metabolic health, and B, your DHT levels, and C, your genetics, whether you're prone to this or not. More often than not, it's telogen effluvium or telogen effluvium, and that is stress-induced hair loss for the most part. The problem here is it's happening 3 months after the stressor. So you go through the terrible illness, or you go through the big breakup, or you go through the job loss, you go through the big stressor, And then boom, your hair starts falling out 3 months later, and you don't put two and two together, and you think it's what you're doing at that time, right at that moment. It might be the shampoo you're using at the moment. It might be the hair products you're using. The hair products I love, I'll tell you about them at the end. I absolutely, hands down, love this line. And the reason I do, and the reason I found them was because they focus on scalp care. And I was like that, because I had already figured out that I think the scalp care is a huge piece of this puzzle, and it's a bigger piece than people are giving it credit for. And I ended up finding this line because of their attention to scalp care. Like, that's their whole shtick, if you will. People are convinced that that product has made their hair fall out. And it's funny because they all say the same thing. When I started using it, and then I started talking about it a few months later. And for the record, you guys, I don't present you guys with anything unless I've researched it and used it myself. Like, you would be shocked. My poor brand manager, he has to turn down deals all the time because I'm like, there's no way I'm going to use that. There's no way I'm going to use that. So therefore, there's no way I'm going to promote it. I refuse to promote something I don't love, like truly love. Like, it's in my house and I'm using it. If I'm promoting it, it's in my house and I'm using it, okay? And I kept getting these messages from people when I opened my mouth up. The line is Monate. And when I opened my mouth up about it, people were like, well, I started losing my hair at 4 months. I kept getting message after message after message about how all my hair was going to fall out at 4 months. It was going to break off and fall out at 4 months. Well, I'm like 6 months in, and it's just longer and better than it's ever been. It's like my favorite hair I've ever had. I've never liked my hair before. I've always had just a hate relationship with my hair. It's fine. It's frizzy. It has never been, I don't like dealing with it. I'm not a girly girl, so I don't like, it's not fun. It's a chore to have to take care of your hair, especially if you want it long.